good, y'all? Welcome to my review for The Penguin. The final episode just aired, or I just finished it, man. And holy fucking shit, man. What a finale that was, man. Like, yo. Like, obviously, we ain't gonna get into spoilers right now. We're gonna save that for the spoilers discussion at the end of the video. But man, I cannot believe that shit, man. That finale was insane, man. Like, so many twists and turns. Definitely went in places I did not think that it was going to go in, man. Just an incredible finale in every sense of the word, man. And all, yeah, I don't even really got much to say, man. I was a bit flabbergasted by where this episode went, man. But the rest of the show was obviously fantastic as well. But yeah, man, enough me rambling. Let's just jump right into the actual show itself. So the show stars, of course, Colin Farrell, Christine Milioti, I'm probably butchering her last name. Rahemzi, if I'm pronouncing, Felix, Clancy Brown, Carmen Ijongo, if I'm pronouncing right, Mark Strong, and even my man, Shades himself, making his comic book return, Theo Rossi, man. It was so good to see him in this show, man. When he popped up, man, I was like, hey, Shades is in the building. Let's go. Because y'all know, for any like OG subscribers or people that have been subscribed to me for a while, you guys know that when I was back during the Marvel Netflix days, man, I was reviewing Luke Cage. Y'all know that Shades was one of my favorite characters, man. I always loved Shades. He was always such a cool dude, and he was just awesome, man, especially with his shades on, man. Such an awesome character, man, and Theo was just so good in the role, man. He was always a show stealer. I always loved it whenever Shades is on screen during Luke Cage, and whenever I was watching, Luke Cage. So it was good to see him. So it was good, and I've seen him pop up in like a movie here and there, but it was good to see him make his comic book return in the DC. Not DC, because this is like its own, like, Elseworld thing. But make his return to comic books through the Batman. Now, I'm still hoping that maybe we'll get to see him pop back up in the MCU now, the Netflix shows are canon now. That maybe whenever Luke Cage gets reintroduced, maybe we could also see Shades come back as well. I would really like to see Shades come back. But yeah, man, it was really good to see him, man. He's great in the show too. He's not in the movie that much, or the show rather. He's not in there that much. He has a handful of appearances, man. But it was always good to see him whenever he showed up. And many more. And the plot of The Penguin is that the transformation of Oswald Cobb from the disfigured nobody to a noted Gotham gangster, which is definitely how the show ends when we get to that final episode. So, first of all, man, the cast is great. Obviously, Colin Farrell is incredible. He was amazing when we saw him as a Penguin in the Batman, and that continues for me, especially during the final episode, man. Jesus Christ, get this man a fucking Emmy, with this performance in the episode, man. Obviously, another show stealer is Kristen. I'm just going to call her Kristen because I can actually pronounce that part confidently, as Sophia Falcone, which you guys didn't know, actually. There was this, like, ASMR video that, like, DC had released with her in it. Like, she was doing, like, these ASMR with, like, some DC, like, hardcover comic books, and she was talking about how, like, she's been a hardcore Batman fan, since childhood. She's always wanted to play a villain and all that jazz, man. But yeah, like, and she was amazing here, man. I was also kind of wondering, like, what they would do with her at the end of the show. Like, would they kill her? Would they do this? Would they maybe? Because I loved Sophie in the show, man. I was really hoping that she got to stick around throughout the show, which thankfully she does. They don't kill her off or nothing, man. Which I was definitely getting worried about within those last couple of episodes, if they were gonna, like, kill her off, and this will be her early appearance. But it looks like she will, and definitely what we see at the end of the show, man, during the final episode, definitely makes me think that Sophie is going to be a major player in the Batman Part 2, or at the very least will be a constant looming threat, or will have a constant, presence within the future, within the rest of the Matt Reeves verse in this movie, man. Because, yeah. So she was great, man. Obviously, I mentioned about Theo Shade making his return, and he was great, man. Ryenzi, if I'm pronouncing it, I feel like I'm mispronouncing his name, who was playing Vic. He was amazing as well. And also, I might as well mention this right now, because you guys may remember in my review, or my first impressions, rather, of the first episode, I mentioned I was kind of questioning whether or not he genuinely did have a stutter, or if Oswald just thought he had a stutter just because he was stuttering because he was stressed, but no. And, like, the episode he was stressed like once in the episode, and then the rest of it he's talking normally. Yeah, the kid's got a stutter. Throughout the rest of the series, man, multiple times an episode, he stutters. So, yeah, I don't know why the first episode he only did it once, and, and that was probably him arguably the most stressful of the series, man. But, yeah, so yeah, he does have a stutter, man. My mistake. Like I said, you guys always question, like, does he actually have a stutter? Because he seemed pretty... was able to talk just fine for the rest of the episode, man, outside that one scene with, with Oswald, interrogating him or whatever, about to kill him. So, there's that. But, yeah, he was amazing. Especially when we start to get more about his backstory in a future episode, man. We get to see about, him having a girlfriend and all that jazz, man. He was amazing, man. He was amazing with the entire show, man. Victor was great. The rest of the cast I thought was solid as well. Especially, I don't know the actress that plays her. I'm slipping on her name at the current moment. But the woman that plays Oswald's mom, my God, she was incredible, man. Especially when we get to the later episodes, the later episodes, man, when she has a bit more of a better focus with Francis and her backstory, man. Just absolutely incredible, man. Shout out to that actress, man. She was amazing. Of course, as always, the makeup on Colin Farrell is incredible, man. Everyone has been singing his praises since, the Batman. The first episode, once again, I have to say, was amazing, man. How they did the whole thing with Oswald killing, Sophia's brother and all that shit. He was, shit-talking him and all that. And, he shoots and kills him. And like I said, he, throws him down the stairs once they realize, wait, why am I carrying this dude? He's dead. And just tosses him down. But, yeah, that was such an amazing first episode, man. All the episodes were incredible, man, in one way or another, man. There was never a single dull episode throughout this show. And definitely the highlights, one of the two big episodes, was episode 4 and episode 8. Episode 4 dealt with Sophia and giving us her backstories, how she became the hangman and all that jazz. And then, of course, the finale episode, was the finale. It was incredible. The one that actually Vic gets as well, that focused on him, I thought was amazing as well. That's probably my, third or fourth favorite episode, I want to say, man. That was a really nice episode as well, when we see Vic kind of, decide for, yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity and, join with Oswald and, make a name for myself rather than, run off with my girlfriend. Which, that was one other cool thing about that episode, is that we got, a much more personal, POV at the flood and, the immediate effects of it, man. Because, I haven't watched the Batman in a long-ass time, man. I think maybe it's just I watched it in theaters. I don't know if I actually ever sat down and watched it once I got the Blu-ray. I don't know if I've actually sat down and watched it yet. Again, since I've bought the Blu-ray. I don't know. I'll have to check. I would have to check my letterbox. If I ever log the film again after that initial viewing. But regardless, it's such, man. So I don't remember if we got a similar scene like this in the first movie, but, we got, you guys remember the flood and, that whole sequence with the bomb and everything, man. But we get, a very close personal view of it, where we see the flood happening, because they were, him and his girlfriend were, on a different building. On the rooftop of it, they saw the water, flooding in there, man, hit Vic's home. The window was open, man, and, kill off the rest of his family. And it was really well done, man. The CGI on the water, I'm assuming this was all done with CGI, unless maybe they used practical effects, but I'm pretty sure this was all CGI. Looked amazing. The effects on that stuff, man, looked amazing. It was just definitely a big oh shit moment when you get to see a more personal look at the flood, while in the movie I think it was just an overhead shot and kind of just more showing you the destruction rather than the more, I guess, intimate details of it and being there and witnessing it firsthand, destroying level Crown Point. Which is what the whole show was built around, you're beating Crown Point and everything, and that's where it's from and all that jazz. So yeah, the fourth episode was amazing because that was with Sophia's backstory, man, and first of all, it's really well directed. That episode was really well. They sell the claustrophobia she feels, how scared she is, man. There's a scene that was this was some wild shit, where they were like when she gets to Arkham, man, they like strip her of all her clothes, and like it's like I was like, I remember watching like, is this a fucking mental institution or a fucking prison? You know, because they like you know we see this a lot of prison movies where like they just want to get in there, they're nude, they just get hosed, and then like they're doing these examinations, she got in there, I don't know, like. Pretty sure I could be misremembering the episode, but I'm pretty sure they even like were like searching her vagina or whatever to make sure anything wasn't in there. I forget if they went that deep with the examination. They just like checked her mouth. I can't remember. I remember there was like a moment was like, hey, what the fuck, during that part of the episode, man. I could be misremembering if I am, correct me from in the comments, man. But yeah, that whole sequence was wild. We'll talk a little bit more about that one later on in the spoiler discussion, man. But that was an amazing episode as well, and the finale was insane as well. Another really big highlight I thought about the show, man, which I love the dynamics between Victor and Oz. Because, that's obviously, Oz is like a seasoned criminal. Vic's new to this, man. He kind of like takes almost a father figure role to Vic and kind of puts him under his wing, teaches him the ropes about the criminal empire, man. And they just have so many great moments together, man. And just like they had like a really, you can feel the family bond building between these two as it goes to the rest and the conclusion of the series, man. And then also his mom. There is so much wild shit with this. Like, there's gotta be one of the weirdest family dynamics out there, man. There is a lot of baggage, just to say the least, man, without getting into spoilers. With this episode, man, with that episode, with their relationship, excuse me. Yeah, which we'll talk more about that in the spoiler discussion. But yeah, it's pretty insane what happens between Oz and his mom, man. Which actually, there was also this was kind of like a minor spoiler, but there's actually a scene where you get to see Sophia and Oswald's mom like meet up with each other, and she's like, and like she ain't scared. She don't give two fucks about Sophia. And she's like, yeah, bitch, whatever, Oz got you. Whatever, bitch, Oz got you. Like I was like, all right, mom, all right, Oz's mom, I see you, Francis. Hold your ground, man. That was a pretty high moment. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty cool as well. Yeah, man, like I said, directing is amazing, man. The fight choreography once again is great, man. I mentioned the first episode that they were like using like how Oz was using the seatbelt. They definitely do that a few more times, which is showing like Oz being very much a survivor, and like how resourceful he is, man, and using his environment to like, get out of sticky situations and get out of fights and everything, man. That continues on for the rest of the series, man. Maroni, I like what they do with his character, man, and like with him with Oz and everything, man. Like I'm trying to be vague just now. I'm trying to make sure I watch what I say because I don't want to give out spoilers, major spoilers to you guys, man. For you guys that are watching this who haven't watched the show yet and don't want to get spoiled. But yeah, this show is amazing. As far as like negatives I have with the show, man. First of all, I mentioned this in my review. My first impressions. I wish this show had a legit intro, man. I do think it's kind of cool how they do where they have the title cards and then like the red of the title like fades out there, man. And it's just like the rest of the episode before the full title card just fades out, man. I think it's pretty cool transition. I would have preferred a full-on intro like we do get with the outro, man. But hey, the outro is really cool as well. They shortened Oswald's name from Oswald Cobblepot to Oswald Cobb. For some reason, not entirely sure what the deal with that was, why they felt the need to change it. As well as, this one also kind of bumped me, and I could have just blinked and missed it, man, missed his explanation, so, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But there's this device, but to not get too deep into spoilers, there is a device that is used, and the show never explains what the fuck it is. I assume it's some type of hypnosis, but I'm not entirely sure. The show never really clarifies what the fuck the thing is or what it even does. Shades just uses it, and it's like never explain what they're doing, why they're doing it, what is the purpose of this machine, and like what it can do. It was very weird. It was kind of bizarre. I was like, you're not gonna explain this? Okay. So I thought that was pretty weird as well. And yeah, man, I think that's everything I can say about the show, man, without getting into spoilers. So yeah, now I was originally going to come in here and give this show a 9.5 out of 10, but the finale was just so good that I'm just like, fuck it, I'm raising up my rating. So my final verdict for the Penguin is a 10 out of fucking 10. I was like, what is the damn drawer on the desk? But yeah, man, this show was absolutely incredible, man. I don't know if we're gonna get a season 2 of this eventually, like after the Batman continue on Oz, or this is just like the one-off thing, and then we're only gonna see him in maybe appear in other Matt Reeves TV shows, or how that's gonna work with the Penguin. Apparently, I did see a tweet. Apparently, Colin Farrell did confirm that he apparently has like 5 scenes in the Batman Part 2. So that's cool. Also, for anyone that gets wondering, man, no, Robert Pattinson does not make an appearance in the show. You get the bat signal, and that's it. That's all you get is the bat signal, man. That's all. That is your only Batman representation of Batman cameo you get in the Man. And honestly, man, with how good this show was, man, it makes me even more sad that the GCPD show got canceled, because I was like, that show could have been cool, man. I don't know how they would have tried to differentiate that from Gotham, to be fair. Maybe that's why they decided to cancel, because Gotham. But I wish that show got made, man, because with how good this show is, man, they are definitely cooking with the Matt Reeves version of these TV shows. And I'm honestly down to see more of these as the movies progress onward. And yeah, man, I would have loved to see the GCPD show if it actually didn't get canceled. But anyway, guys, now we're going to get into spoiler discussion. So if you guys do not want to get spoiled, leave now. Now, first of all, we got to talk about is Selina Kyle. I did not think we would see anything from like Selina at all in the show, but we find out that Selina and Sophia are half sisters. This is with Shades giving Sophia a letter sent from Selina Kyle. They say that they are now half sisters. So obviously, this probably means that maybe Selina will break her out of prison in the Batman Part 2, and then Sophia will be like a major antagonist for them. Maybe she could stay for for a future movie or another TV show, man. Or that means Sophia's going to be a forever looming presence in the Matt Reeves verse. Whatever the case may be, I'm happy she's sticking around, that she got to stick around, man. We're going to see more of Sophia in the rest of the show. I don't know if she is based off any character in the comics, or if she's like Fish Mooney was made original, or is a completely original character just made for this show. Like you guys know, I'm not a DC guy. I'm a Marvel guy, like a very casual. And I'm like a big Marvel guy. I mean, you guys know I'm more of a casual DC fan that mostly just watch the movie, like reads like basically any comic that Damian is in. And if Damian Ray ever becomes a thing in the comics, you bet your ass I'll start reading that comic. But yeah, man. That was pretty cool to see, man. I'm very excited to see what they're gonna do with Selina, and like probably what they're gonna do with her and Sophia, most likely in the Batman Part 2. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I am really excited for that. Now let's talk about Oswald and his mom. Jesus Christ, the bag between these two men. So this was something I thought was interesting, where like in the final episode, Sophia is acts like she's a therapist here, trying to make them heal and make them say, the lies that they both have been telling each other or not telling, or what they haven't been telling each other, and they haven't been completely honest with each other, and telling them their true feelings. With Oswald, it's obviously telling him that he killed his brothers, which is nuts, by the way. That whole thing with Oz, man, how selfish he is, and, him killing his brothers, man, which, once again, this kind of goes to the whole thing, which they mentioned this a few times in the Inside the Episode documentaries, or featurettes, what you want to call them, that air after the episodes, on HBO Max anyway, that how impulsive he is, man. Like, his brothers were teasing at him, and man, they were playing hide and seek, and they went into the area where the door was, and they went under, and they hid under one of the pipes or whatever, man, because they knew Oz wouldn't get down there, man. He's like, well, screw you two, and then he just seals them in there, man, walks home, and then thinks he has his mom alters, as well as brothers are just slowly drowning. That whole scene was insane, I have to say. When we get to Oz's backstory episode and we find out what happened to his brother, that he actually killed him, which was insane, like I mentioned before. But what was also insane was finding out with his mom, that his mom knew the entire time, or maybe not the entire time, but more or less the entire time, that Oz was indeed the one that killed his brothers. Because she found his flashlight, and that's when she was able to put two and two together, that she was the one that sealed them away. And she mentioned the cops had to pry the door open in order to get it open. Pretty insane stuff, man. The family dynamic between those two, man, is insane, man. And shout out to Frances' actress as well, man. She did such an amazing job during those scenes, and it looks like she was gonna have some other like gangster or whatever. I don't know. I forget the dude's name. Kill him off. Kill Oswald. But I guess she decided not to have her only son die. Get murdered. So I wish we got to see that scene as well, because they mentioned how she like decided not to do it, but we never actually see what exactly happened. Like, did she like, and it's like, what, Oz, I want to take you home, because they like do the whole scene where like, you want to, he's gonna take you on a ride and everything, man. But we don't actually see what led up to him not taking the ride and him living. I wish we saw that scene just to know what happened, man, because they never show that part. And but the only thing that's more insane than like, arguably, you may say this one's more insane than the other one, and fair enough. But what is arguably even more insane than what happened with Cobb and with Oswald and his mom is Oswald and Vic. Where in the final episode, he just fucking kills him. He strangles him because he views him as a weakness, because they have such a strong bond now. He views that as a weakness that can be exploited, and he can't have any weaknesses now that he is like, now he's like this big bad crime boss of Gotham, man. He's wearing the suit and everything, man, like very much reminiscent of a typical penguin appearance, which also, I forgot to mention this earlier. I have no idea if the whole thing with Francis and Oswald's relationship is at all based off the comics at all, or if this is like an original take on these characters. Because you guys know I'm not really a big DC guy, so I don't know if it like in the comics as well. Oswald is super needy, killed off both his brothers, sealed them away, and had them drown. So he had his mom alter herself, and his mom knew the entire time. I don't know if any of this is from the comics or this is a more of an original take on this, man. But either way, man, it's crazy. But as I was saying with Vic, he kills him up because he views him as a weakness because he has such a strong bond with him, man. And of course, Victor is shocked by this, man. He's trying to break out there, but of course, he doesn't succeed with getting out, and Oswald kills him, man. Which my jaw was on the fucking floor, man. When I saw, I was like, "What the fuck?" You guys follow me on Twitter. You guys know it was live tweet. I was like, "What the fuck? He killed him?" Man. Like, that was just an insane twist, man. And like really shocking too, because I legitimately thought the show was gonna end. We were gonna see Oswald and Victor, their story continue on. We're gonna see them team up. We're gonna see them work together in the Batman Part 2. Nah, man, it's just Oswald. And yeah, man, like a part of me kind of hopes they like figure some way out to where he actually ended up surviving that, because I love Victor so much. I would have loved to see more of him in the Matt Reeves verse, but I'm pretty sure the dude is dead, man. Like, they ain't gonna try and bring him back or nothing, man. I don't know, they'll throw him in the Lazarus pit whenever they introduce that. But yeah, man, that was truly insane, man. Like, that whole story with the ending, man, was just so insane. Oh, and as I was saying when I mentioned, like, the other thing I didn't really like with the show, man, was during the second to last episode, once Sophia kidnaps Francis and everything, man, they, like, Shades hooks her up to, like, has her look at this like red light that moves back and forth. I'm assuming this is some sort of hypnosis or something to maybe like make her spill the beans of like Oz's origins, and that's how they find out that Oswald killed his brothers, and that she knew the entire time that she was going to kill him, for the whole sequence in the ending. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, but regardless, it's like, I don't know if this was a time of hypnosis to get the memories out, or just like make her dementia worse. I'm not sure what this thing was supposed to do. Like I should have said, the show never explains what this machine is for or why they're using it. But yeah, that was a weird scene. Another interesting scene I thought was as well with the whole thing with Sophia when she's in Arkham. With the whole like they're like cellmates and like everything, man. She like kills off a few of the men. It's like almost free. Like they're also like there's another time in the episode with one of the cellmates that she kind of had beef with, where they like have set up this like one-on-one confrontation that's between the two of them to fight to the death, basically, man. And she like uses a fork to like stab her throat, man, and slit her throat, man. It was pretty insane, man. Like, this show was just such a blast, man. Then we find out that Sophia kills her entire remaining of her family once she's like fully out of Arkham, man, and and once she starts to take over the family fully, man, she just gasses them all to death, but leaves like her like niece, I believe is who she was, like, you know, her daughter's, her sister's daughter. You know, she takes her to the greenhouse, man, to let her, so she doesn't get killed by the gas man. Well, she just kills off the rest of the family. That whole sequence was amazing too. That was another banger episode. I think that was also in episode 4. That might have been episode 5. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember fully. But yeah, man. Like, there's so many insane moments in the show, man. Matt Reeves is cooking with his Batman verse, man. This it's been banger after banger, and I'm excited to see what else is in store with the Batman Part 2. I think there was also apparently supposed to be an Arkham Asylum series in development as well. I don't know if that one got canceled as well with the GCPD series, or if that one's still going or not. But either way, man, I'm hyped. I've rambled on enough of the show about the show, man. As always, leave your thoughts below in the comments, guys. Leave about your thoughts on the show, man. About the crazy moments that had your jaw on the floor, man. And yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow my socials if you feel like it. Links to subscribe below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.